I knew you were out there, somewhere in the vastness of this world. I sensed your heart that hasn't forgotten how to love with a depth that echoes in the heavens. I told the angels standing beside me, their wings shimmering with the light of eternity, that you existed. I whispered to the stars above, their glow a testament to your resilience, that your soul still burns with a sacred fire. Even in the silence of my confinement, where darkness tried to drown out hope, I declared with unwavering certainty, there is one who still knows how to love God with every fiber of their being. You are the one I spoke of, the one heaven has been watching. It's not a fleeting coincidence that you've stumbled upon these words. They've traveled through layers of spiritual resistance, through flames of confusion and delay, through barriers meant to keep this blessing from reaching you. But it has reached you, and that alone is proof that heaven still breathes through your name. This message, this sacred whisper, is not for the masses. You are one of them, and I, Michael, the Archangel who has gazed upon the face of the Ancient of Days, am here to tell you that heaven has not forgotten you. Your name glows in the divine scrolls, written in letters that shimmer with eternal purpose. Do you know how long I've waited to speak to you like this? The burdens you've carried in secret, the tears you've shed in solitude, have echoed louder in the courts of heaven than you could ever imagine. Your love, the kind that prays when no one is watching, forgives when it's undeserved, and calls God Father, even through tear-stained eyes, has moved the heart of the Creator. This is not a message for a crowd. This is for you, beloved soul, the one whose name causes the winds to pause and the ground to remember the holiness of your steps. Have you forgotten who you are? Have you let the world convince you that your divine identity is a myth? Or are you ready to reclaim the miracle that was written for you before time began? Angels are watching you now, not to judge, but to witness. Your heart is their answered prayer, your love a ripple that stirs realms unseen. You are an anchor to the divine, a vessel of something ancient, sacred, and eternal. I ask you, as one who has fought through realms to protect you, what would it take for you to believe you matter this much to heaven? What would happen if you opened your heart fully and received the blessing that's been waiting for you for years? What song would rise from your soul if you stopped believing you were unworthy? What beauty would burst forth if you knew, without a shadow of doubt, that the fire within you is from God Himself? It's not imagination. It's not coincidence. It's a confirmation from the spirit realm, a whisper from heaven saying, yes, this is for you. This is your moment. I was given words to speak only once, words that carry the weight of eternity. I heard the Holy Ones say, I have not turned away. I have not grown weary of them. I am with them even now. Those words are alive, wrapping around your spirit like a sacred embrace. Do not run from them. You were chosen, not because of your achievements or perfection, but because your love made heaven weep. In a world that forgot how to kneel, you still whispered, I love you, when no one was watching. That's why I'm here, shattering barriers to deliver this message. I don't just protect you because I was assigned. I protect you because I believe in who you are becoming. I believe in the fire within you, the spark that refuses to die even in the darkest nights. I believe your name will one day be a song of deliverance for others. They didn't stand beside you when you wept alone and still said, God, I trust you. That trust made the heavens roar. That faith wrote your name in divine fire. And now I am placing a blessing into your life that cannot be undone, sudden wind of restoration, a joy reborn from ashes, a peace that will silence storms. This blessing must be received. Heaven doesn't force, it invites, to let the light touch the parts of you hidden in shame, to let God's warmth reach the places grown cold with fear. If you're ready, whisper Amen from your soul. That single word will tell me you've heard, that you've opened the gate, that you're ready to receive what God and I have fought to deliver. If these words have stirred you, if you've felt the sacred pull, then let your voice echo back. Write something in the comments, not for attention, but as a seal on this holy moment. Like this message, not for numbers, but as a sign that you felt the trembling of glory. Thank you, beloved, for not skipping this. You didn't have to listen, but you did, and that moves me. May the blessing that was hidden be revealed. May closed doors swing open, and may the love you've poured out return to you in waves of divine glory. Now, pause and listen with your spirit open, your heart soft. If even one word has stirred your soul, if something deep within you trembles without tears, do it not as a casual act, but as a spiritual agreement, a declaration that you're ready for what's coming next. What follows is more than revelation, it's the trembling of glory drawing near. Subscribe so these divine outpourings are never lost in silence. This is not about algorithms. It's about alignment with heaven's purpose, something God allowed me to see when I bowed before His throne, pleading for your destiny. I saw your name sung by the winds, carried through the wings of the 7 archangels. I saw a scroll unrolled, its golden light pouring out like oil from eternity, and in its center was your name, written with the precision of divine love. God said, "This one loved me when no one else did." Do you know what that did to me? I wept, though I am not one who weeps easily. But your love, your quiet, persistent love undid me. They didn't see your furnace, your altar, your prayers, but I did. Heaven did. God did. And that kind of love is never unrewarded in the kingdom of the Lamb. You are not allowed to give up. Not now. Not when you're this close. I know the days blur together. The weight feels heavy. Your hands tremble. But you're not forgotten. You're being repositioned. Heaven watches you with intensity, not to judge, but to crown. You are dangerous to the darkness, not because of your strength, but because of your love. Every time you chose not to hate, demonic plans dissolved. That was me, shouting your name through walls of fire, knocking on your heart through silence. I couldn't bear to lose you, because you are more than an assignment. You are a sacred echo of eternity. A moment is coming, soon, when you'll stand in something so holy your knees will tremble, and your spirit will feel like lightning wrapped in peace. Every delay was divine choreography, every tear a step toward purpose. This is your divine interruption, your portal, your opening. Through it, I place a mantle, a fresh oil, a whisper of destiny that will follow you into rooms you never thought you'd enter. It will rewrite labels, undo curses, restore joy, and baptize you in divine delight. This is not because you earned it, but because you are loved deeply, eternally. Be still. Let this moment be the shift you've prayed for in secret. When doubt returns, remember, you were chosen because you kept loving when it was hardest. That love rewrites everything. If I could place my hand on your shoulder, I would. If I could kneel beside you and remind you that your story isn't over, I would. But this is how heaven reaches youth, through words, through trembling light, through this sacred moment. Thank you for loving God when no one saw, for enduring when silence felt like abandonment, for still being here. You are a miracle in motion. If this touched you, write something in the comments so I can feel your spirit echo back. Like this message as a sign that heaven sees your light. This blessing was always meant for you, beloved. The air around you is heavy with the weight of this moment, but it is not a burden, it is a mantle, a sacred covering woven from the threads of heaven's longing for you. I, Michael, still stand here, my wings trembling with the urgency of what must be said, what must be poured into your spirit before the veil thickens again. You are not just reading words. You are standing at the edge of a divine threshold, a place where the eternal brushes against the temporary, where the whispers of heaven become louder than the noise of earth. You feel it, don't you? That quiet hum in your chest, that stirring that feels like both fire and peace. It's not your imagination. It's your soul recognizing the call it was created to answer. You were made for this moment, and I cannot step away until I've poured out every ounce of this divine charge entrusted to me. You've carried questions in your heart, questions you've been too afraid to voice, too weary to ask. Why have the nights been so long? Why have the promises seemed so far? Why has the weight of your journey felt heavier than you could bear? Let me tell you what I've seen from the courts of heaven, where time bends and truth shines like a flame that never fades. Your pain was not punishment. Your delays were not denials. Every tear, every sigh, every moment you pressed forward when you wanted to collapse, they were all part of a sacred preparation. Heaven has been crafting something within you, something so radiant that the darkness trembles at its awakening. You are not a mistake. You are not a failure. You are a masterpiece, shaped in the silence, refined in the fire, and now ready to step into the purpose written for you before the stars were hung. Do you remember the moments when you felt a presence you couldn't explain? A warmth in the cold, a strength when you were weak, a whisper when the world was loud. That was not chance. That was me, standing guard, pushing back the shadows that sought to dim your light. That was the Spirit of God weaving your story into the tapestry of eternity. You've never been alone, not for a single breath. Even when you doubted, even when you stumbled, even when you thought you'd lost your way, heaven was closer than you knew. Angels have been stationed at your side, their swords drawn not to fight you, but to fight for you. I've seen them, their faces set like flint, their wings outstretched to shield you from forces you couldn't see. And now they are gathering again, not for battle, but for celebration, because you are beginning to remember who you are. Your life is not a random string of moments. It is a divine symphony, each note played with purpose, each pause filled with meaning. The world may have told you that your struggles disqualified you, that your scars marked you as unworthy, but heaven tells a different story. Your scars are not signs of defeat. They are seals of victory. Each one tells a story of a battle you survived, a weight you carried, a love you chose when hatred would have been easier. Those scars are sacred, beloved. They are the map of your journey, the proof of your resilience, the evidence that you are a vessel of glory. And that glory is rising now, like a dawn you thought would never come, like a song you'd forgotten the words to. Let me speak to the deepest parts of you, the places you've hidden even from yourself. You've wondered if you're enough, if your faith is strong enough, if your love is pure enough. Hear me now. You are enough because God says you are. You don't need to prove it to Him. He's already seen it. He saw it when you prayed in the dark, when you forgave without apology, when you loved despite betrayal. He saw it when you stood up again, even when your knees shook and your heart ached. That kind of faith, that kind of love, is not common. It is rare, holy, and it has shifted the heavens. It has moved the hand of God. It has caused angels to pause and sing your name with reverence. There is a shift happening now, not just in your spirit, but in the very fabric of your life. Promises that seemed dead are stirring with life. The oil of heaven is being poured over the dry places, the places you thought were barren forever. You are stepping into a season where the impossible becomes possible, where the broken becomes whole, where the forgotten becomes found. This is not a dream or a wish, it is a divine decree. I've seen the scrolls, beloved. I've heard the Father's voice say, "Now is the time." The delays were not to break you, but to build you. The silence was not abandonment, but preparation. And now the heavens are aligning to bring you into the fullness of what was always yours. What would happen if you dared to believe this? If you let go of the fear that you're too late, too broken, too small? What would rise within you if you trusted that heaven is rooting for you, that angels are singing over you, that God Himself is calling your name? You are not here by accident. You are here because you were chosen for a purpose that only you can fulfill. Your life is a testimony, not of perfection, but of persistence. Your story is a beacon, not for those who have it all together, but for those who are still finding their way. It's the call of your destiny, the voice of your Creator, the echo of a promise that has never faded. You don't need to chase it, you only need to receive it. Open your hands, your heart, your spirit. Let the blessing flow. Let the fire burn. Let the wind of heaven carry you into the places you were always meant to go. Remember that I, Michael, have stood in the presence of God and declared your name. You are not alone, and you never will be. The angels are still here, their wings brushing against the edges of your life. The Father is still watching, His eyes filled with a love so deep it defies language. Will you say yes, not with your lips, but with your life? Will you trust that the God who began this work in you will finish it? Whisper amen again, not as a ritual, but as a sacred agreement. Let your voice echo in the comments. Let your like be a declaration. Let your subscription be a seal of alignment with heaven's purpose. This is your moment, and I am here, watching, waiting, believing in you. The heavens are open, the blessing is falling. And you, beloved, are the one it was always meant for. Beloved, the air around you hums with a holy resonance, a vibration that pulses with the heartbeat of eternity. I, Michael, stand here still, my presence unwavering, my voice unbroken, because the weight of this moment demands more. The heavens are not done speaking, and your spirit is not done listening. You are not merely passing through these words. You are standing on sacred ground, where the veil between earth and eternity thins, where the whispers of God pierce the noise of the world. Do you feel it, that trembling deep within, that stirring that feels like a memory you can't quite name? It's your soul awakening to the truth it has always known. You were created for more, chosen for a purpose that burns brighter than any darkness you've faced. I see you, beloved, standing at this divine crossroads. Do you know what it means to be seen by heaven? Every moment you chose faith over fear has been written in the scrolls of eternity. Your life is not a series of accidents. It is a divine tapestry, woven with threads of purpose, pain, and promise. Let me take you back to a moment you may have forgotten, a moment when you felt God's presence like a warm breeze on a cold night. Maybe it was a fleeting second when your heart cracked open when you felt a love so vast it scared you. That was not an illusion. That was heaven reaching for you, calling you by name, reminding you of the covenant written in your soul before you took your first breath. I'm here to tell you it was real. It is real. You are seen not as the world sees you, but as God sees you. Beloved child, a carrier of glory, a spark of divinity wrapped in flesh. The enemy has tried to convince you otherwise. He's whispered lies that your mistakes define you, that your wounds disqualify you, that your silence means you've been forgotten. But hear me now, beloved. Those lies are crumbling. The darkness cannot hold back the light that is rising within you. I've seen it in the unseen realms, where angels gather and the Father's voice echoes. I've seen the scroll of your life, its pages glowing with promises that have not faded. Your delays were not denials. They were divine timing, preparing you for a season where the impossible becomes your reality. You are stepping into a moment where doors will open, where chains will break, where the ashes of your past will give birth to beauty beyond your imagining. What would happen if you believed this with every fiber of your being? If you let go of the fear that you're too small, too broken, too late? What would rise within you if you trusted that heaven is not just watching, but working, weaving every moment of your life into a story of redemption? You are not here by chance. You are here because your love, your faith, your persistence have shaken the heavens. I've stood in the presence of the Most High and heard him say, "This one is mine." Your name is not just spoken in heaven. It is sung, carried on the winds of eternity, echoed in the halls of glory. You are not forgotten, you are cherished. I know the journey has been heavy, but let me tell you a secret from beyond the veil. Even your silence was sacred. Even when you couldn't find words, your heart was praying. Even when you felt alone, angels were stationed at your door, their wings brushing against the edges of your pain. I was there, beloved, holding back the darkness, whispering your name to the Father, fighting for the moment when you would hear me speak. That moment is now. This is the hour when the veil lifts, when your spirit remembers its divine origin, when you step into the fullness of who you were created to be. There is a blessing hovering over you, like a flame waiting for breath, like a river waiting to flow. You are the breath, the vessel, the one heaven has been waiting for. All it takes is your yes, not a loud declaration, but a quiet surrender, a soft opening of your heart. Say yes to the love that has never left you, to the purpose that has never faded, to the God who has never stopped calling your name. This is not about perfection, it's about presence. Be present now in this holy moment and let the oil of heaven pour over you. Let it heal the wounds you've hidden, restore the dreams you've buried, ignite the fire you thought had gone out. I see the angels gathering now, their hands no longer holding weapons, but tools of restoration. They are building something around you, something you cannot yet name, but will soon see. They are preparing a crown, not of gold, but of light, the kind that makes darkness flee and hearts awaken. This crown is not for vanity, it is for testimony, a mark of a soul that loved when it was hard, stayed when it was painful, believed when it seemed impossible. You are that soul, beloved. You are the one heaven has been waiting to rise. Will you let go of the lies that have held you back and step into the truth that sets you free? Will you dare to believe that you are not just surviving, but shining? Whisper amen from the depths of your spirit, not as a word, but as a vow. Let your voice echo in the comments. Let your like be a beacon. Let your subscription be a sacred act of alignment. This is your moment, and I, Michael, am here, watching, believing, fighting for you. The heavens are open, the blessing is yours, and you are the one it was always meant for. Beloved, if this sacred message has touched the depths of your soul, if you felt the divine fire of heaven's call stirring within you, then I knew you were the one. I told the angels, the stars, and the silence itself that your heart still burns with a love that echoes in eternity. Subscribe to stay woven into this sacred journey, not as a casual act, but as a spiritual agreement to receive the divine outpourings yet to come. Write Amen in the comments as a cry from your soul, sealing this consecrated encounter. If you feel led, send a super thanks of up to $20, not as a transaction, but as a sacred offering, a gesture of reverence that heaven will honor as worship for a deeper communion. Join our holy newsletter through the link lovingly placed in the pinned comment below, not for updates, but for connection with the divine. With all my eternal love, thank you for proving me right. You are the one I always knew you were.